Today I'm not out in the woods or at my cottage or in Alabama. I'm at my mama bear's house for the weekend, and guess what? I somehow convinced her to let me build a fire pit in the backyard so we can cook up some ribs together. I mean, what's a Canadian weekend without a little smoke and maple syrup? And ribs were one of my absolute favorites. Her ribs were legendary, fall off the bone tender, and had so much flavor. Jeff and I even cooked ribs in the ground once. But today we're keeping it classic with a little Canadian twist. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but if there's no maple syrup involved, I'm not interested. So y'all know I'm making a maple barbecue sauce. 1 1/4 cups of ketchup, 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 3/4 cups of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of molasses, 1/4 cup of honey, and of course, 1/4 cup of that pure Canadian liquid gold. 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, just a little heat. This is Canada, not Alabama. 1 teaspoon of dry mustard. Now just simmer this all on low for about 15 minutes. Sweet, tangy, smoky Canadian dream. Now let's talk ribs. My mom likes to remove the skin on the back of the ribs. Classic move. But me, I'm a little rebel and I leave it on. I love that crispy layer. It's like getting an extra treat with every bite. But hey, y'all do whatever your heart desires. Next up, I'm basting each side of the ribs with Dijon mustard. This is going to be a really good bind for the rub. And speaking of rub, you're going to season these bad boys generously on both sides with a nice blend of garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, dry mustard, and brown sugar. And don't be shy with the seasonings. Now sear each side of the racks over the fire. You're going to want to seal those ribs real good. We're locking in all that juicy goodness. Now you've got 2 options. You can wrap them tightly in foil and pop them in the oven at 325 for 3 hours, which is pretty darn easy and gets the job done. Or like me and my mom, to speed it up, we toss half a can of Coca-Cola and half a can of beer, some apples and garlic in the Instapot. Set the ribs upright so that they're standing tall and set the Instapot for 40 minutes. Once they were cooked, we cut them up and basted them with that maple barbecue sauce. Then we threw them in the oven at 450 for about 15 minutes to get that crispy, sticky goodness on top. These ribs were made with love, just like the ones my mom used to make. And if I've learned anything from her, it's that food tastes better when it's shared with the ones you love. So whether you're cooking over an open fire or in the oven, hope this recipe brings a little extra love to your table. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and share this recipe with your friends who need a little Canadian love in their lives. Come with me and let the land feed your soul.